Obamacare has become the perfect storm for conservatives, the issue that drives home their consistent drumbeat against the inevitable incompetence, corruption, and regulatory tyranny of big government. Standing for liberty and against big government has been the trademark of the conservative movement. Why then do they mostly refuse to recognize and stand against another failed government program that has for decades been a model for, you guessed it, incompetence, corruption, and tyranny, and ruin countless lives? Why do conservatives continue their explicit or tacit support for the war on drugs? Perhaps the answer is simply politics. Conservatives are loath to be seen as soft on crime, but it would now be not only safe but politically shrewd to finally stand consistent with their principles in light of last week's Gallup poll revealing that 58% of Americans now favor the legalization of marijuana. Legalization would lead the government to do exactly what they do to alcohol, regulate and tax it, and thus provide a fresh and sizable source of government revenue. Is this not a more conservative solution compared to the current drug prohibition schemes resulting in wasteful government spending, a criminal underworld, and the deprivation of liberty for victimless crimes? Any law which is not widely obeyed is a bad law. Alcohol prohibition was an abject failure, and that was a ban on something that really did and still does ruin millions of lives. A simple corollary is represented by stoplights. Good law because they're widely obeyed. Examples of American lives crushed not by drug use but by the drug warriors have become all too common. A young man died while in a Washington jail just recently, serving time for a misdemeanor marijuana possession. He ate something in jail he was allergic to after they told him it was safe, but by the time they stopped ignoring him, it was too late. Another man rolled through a stop sign and was pulled over by a drug warrior who got a judge to issue a warrant to search the man, and what followed was a horrifying, unspeakably intrusive search of the man's person that might by itself be enough evidence for almost anyone to oppose the drug war. William F. Buckley, the conservative giant who opposed drug prohibition, said it's a necessity to free ourselves from the superstition that that which is legal is something we approve of. This argument isn't about approving drug use. It's about freedom. As we watch the results of this drug war armistice in the states of Washington and Colorado, we'll see more resources for police to investigate crimes that actually hurt others and fewer incarcerations of people who haven't harmed anyone. The war on drugs continues to produce a reality where the prohibited drugs are ever cheaper, more potent, and more available, where every passing year further erodes our hard-won liberties. So what's the conservative answer? Well, surely one cannot argue with a straight face for fighting harder or directing more resources towards this war. We already lock up more people per capita in this country than any place on earth. In 2014, 8 states will vote on making pot legal for medicinal or recreational purposes. If you support wild government spending, which exacerbates the problem, combined with decreasing respect for law enforcement and the state, by all means oppose these measures. But please, don't call it conservative.